Hello and welcome to the Crochet Business School podcast. I'm Kelly Thomas, the Crochet Profit Queen, and I'm going to show you how you can make a living from your crochet while avoiding the burnout and being able to make what you want and when you want. Writing your first crochet pattern. So when you're starting out with selling your own crochet patterns, how do you get started? What's the first step? What do you need to do? How do you just write it? We're very good at overthinking these type of things. And actually writing a crochet pattern is maybe a bit simpler than you think. Yes, it takes an eye for detail, and you'll spend a lot of time editing and taking photos and checking through all the details. But the actual just getting it written is fairly simple. Think about how you follow a crochet pattern when you're crocheting. How do you follow it? You follow it step by step, and you just follow the instructions as they are written. Writing a crochet pattern is exactly the same. You write down step by step what you're doing, and you write everything out in order and with all the detail that you would need to follow a crochet pattern yourself. It sounds overly simple, but that's exactly how it works. But let's take a step back for a minute. If you are just starting out and you haven't written your first pattern yet, how do you even decide what you're going to design? And you should definitely think about this before you start, because your first design is going to set the tone for the rest of your business. Even a crochet pattern business needs a niche. So if you're selling what you make, you should have a niche. If you are selling crochet patterns, you should have a niche. If you're writing a crochet blog, you should have a niche. And what do I mean by that? I mean a theme with which your business is built around. So some people may specialize in sweaters. Some will specialize in blankets. Some will specialize using brioche technique. Some will specialize in mosaic technique. Someone may specialize in baby wear or baby items in general. As long as you can describe what your niche is and what pattern types you are designing, then you're good to go. What you don't want to be doing is having, say, a hat pattern over here, a blanket pattern over here, a beach cover up over here, a bag here. People don't know what to expect from you. If you just have a random selection of patterns that you can't put together in some sort of collection that you can describe, and no, crochet patterns doesn't count, you have to be able to describe what brings them all together. Because when people come to your page, they want to know what to expect. And crochet patterns isn't enough. They need to know what type of crochet patterns to expect from you. So you have to choose your niche. And to do that, I would make a list of what you enjoy crocheting yourself. All the different types of things that you love to crochet. And then look at the list and see what you can tie together. Maybe cross the things off that you don't like as much. Make a big circle of the things you really enjoy making. And then see if you can tie them together. You should always love what you crochet. And you don't want to turn this into a chore. So choosing the theme should be what you love doing. Forget what's popular, forget what's trendy. Because popular and trendy changes over time. We are building a business for years to come. There is a niche for everyone. There is always somebody looking for what you have in mind. You've just got to find them. So choose what you love to make. And then start designing. As long as what you have in mind fits within that niche, then write the pattern for it. And that will continue to allow you to make what you love. And it stops your business becoming a chore. It keeps you loving your crochet. And it keeps you always interested. So this is an important step to think about. Once you have your niche, you can start building your audience. You can start telling people what to expect from you. You can start posting on social media what your business is about. You can give your business a name. It's a lot easier to name your business if you know your niche, because there's nothing worse than choosing a name and then changing your niche and it doesn't fit anymore. So it's usually better to choose your niche before you choose your name. But once you have this, you can start posting on social media. Start posting about what you plan on making, the yarns you're using, why you are doing what you are doing, and give your audience updates. So when it comes to actually writing your pattern, you just write step by step what you're doing. You may choose to add photos to highlight the steps you're taking to make it easier to understand what you're writing. You may choose to record your pattern as a video. You may choose to write it as a chart. Do you have to do all these things? Absolutely not. If you don't want to do it, don't. Different designers have different ways of writing. Some designers will only ever record their patterns as videos. Some will only ever have the written pattern for their audience to look over. How you choose to share your pattern with your customers, with your audience, is entirely up to you. Now, the only real rules that you should be sticking to is use standard abbreviations, and you can find these at the yarncraftcouncil.com. Have I got that right way around? Yarncraftcouncil.com, and use their abbreviations. Don't go making up your own, because you're just going to confuse people. And there is nothing worse than being confused when reading the pattern. Make sure you have your stitch counts written down, because they are so useful to everyone. And make sure you are consistent in the way you write things. So use the same language throughout. It just means that you have a consistent tone. You'll develop your own style over time, and you may end up going back to your original patterns and change them a bit to fit in with how you've developed over time, and nothing wrong with that. But you just need to make them as simple as possible to follow. Make sure you have the brand of yarn that you've used written down so that people can go buy the yarn that you've used. Because people want to be able to create your design exactly as you have, not only the pattern itself, but with the yarn that you've used. Make sure you write down everything they need to create your project, how much yarn they need, what size hook do they need, do they need any buttons or bag clasps or anything like that. You have to make sure that's included. And you just write down everything. Everything you need to create the pattern, they need as well. Just make sure it's all written down. The devil is in the detail. And it's easy to miss. Now, the biggest step and the most vital step that I'd argue anyway, is that you have to go test it. You have to get other crocheters to try out your pattern to make sure they can recreate it. Because when we know what we expect to see, we can sort of forget to actually read our pattern properly. It's like you can't see the wood for the trees. So you always get your pattern tested. And you simply just ask other crocheters to make it for you. Simple as. You don't have to pay testers. You can get very skilled crocheters to test for you because they enjoy finding new patterns and they do it for the love of being involved, of having something new that nobody has yet. Some crocheters just really enjoy testing. And they will happily test it out for you if you ask nicely. Simple. And that is basically all there is to starting your own crochet pattern business. Once you've written it, you make it available as a PDF, which you can load onto pattern selling sites such as Ravelry, Etsy, Lovecraft Designers, Makerist. There's quite a few out there. And you promote it. You tell everyone that you can that your pattern exists. And it's as simple as that. We're very good at trying to make things sound more complicated than they are, but you simply write down what you make, step by step, every step you need to make your crochet pattern. You get someone to test it for you, and then you sell it. And you repeat this. The more patterns you make, and the bigger that your library gets, the more money you will make from your patterns. You just got to keep promoting them. And that is how you get started. Now, if you would like help with growing your pattern business, with writing your patterns and everything you need to make your crochet patterns, then come and check out my membership, the Hookers Academy. It's where I show you how to write, sell, and profit from your crochet patterns so that you can make and build a business that you can live off. And you don't have to work full-time hours to make a good living from your crochet patterns. You can build this to suit your lifestyle. If you only want to work in school time, you can make that happen. Am I saying it's easy? No, I'm not. You've got to put the work in. But it's very, very possible. So if you want to find out more about the Hookers Academy, check out the link in the show notes. Otherwise, please do come to our Facebook group. Our community is free to join, and you can come and ask your questions and find out more about what it takes to run your own crochet business with online products. So thank you for listening today, and I shall see you next time for the next episode. Bye for now.